Something just happened in a Montreal press room that completely rewrites how world leaders handle absolute provocation. This isn't just a Canadian story. It's a masterclass in narrative warfare. In exactly 30 seconds, a massive geopolitical trap was laid on live television, and it was dismantled with just 6 words, delivered with the absolute calm of a man who knows exactly what it costs to speak at the wrong time. Tonight on the Daily World Brief Report, we are breaking down the exact moment Donald Trump tried to reframe an entire G7 nation as the 51st state, and the clinical response that completely neutralized it. If you want to understand how real power operates behind the noise, hit subscribe right now. You won't get this breakdown anywhere else. Let's go back to June 2nd. Prime Minister Mark Carney steps up to the microphone. On paper, it's a routine day, announcing federal infrastructure spending, roads, bridges, local investments. But the night before, the entire landscape shifted. Bloomberg drops a report. Canada has officially slipped into a technical recession. Minutes later, Donald Trump fires off a 2-word post on Truth Social. 51st state. No policy, no diplomacy, just pure, unadulterated narrative bait. The next morning, U.S. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra takes a screenshot and amplifies it on X. Suddenly, a casual internet jab is forced into official diplomatic territory. When Carney takes the stage, the press room is a powder keg. CBC News cuts through the noise with the question everyone is waiting for. What is the response to the U.S. ambassador pushing annexation rhetoric? Carney doesn't flinch. He doesn't launch into a passionate defense of Canadian sovereignty. Instead, he drops a line that hits harder than any political attack ever could. He refers to the President of the United States as an exceptionally active user of social media. That was it. No anger, no escalation, just a cold, clinical observation before moving on. When asked if Hoekstra should be sent packing back to Washington, Carney shuts it down instantly. Short answer, no. It's an administration we have to work with. To understand why this clinical silence was so brutal, you have to look at the massive economic trap Canada was standing in. Trump's timing wasn't random. The Canadian economy had just contracted. Business investment was chilling. But the real pressure? A massive countdown clock. The CUSMA trade agreement, governing over $1.3 trillion in annual trade, faced its critical review deadline. Washington wasn't just trolling, they were hunting for leverage. They wanted massive concessions on digital regulations, auto rules, and permanent tariffs. By launching the 51st state narrative at a moment of economic vulnerability, the U.S. was daring Canada to blow up, get emotional, and make a diplomatic scene that could be used against them at the negotiating table. And that brings us to the most bizarre contradiction of this entire saga. Just a year ago, Ambassador Hoekstra explicitly told Canadian media that the idea of annexation was dead and buried. Now, he's on camera telling reporters that the 51st state topic is a great discussion for the President and the Prime Minister to have. Extreme geopolitical rhetoric has been casualized. It has been turned into online content. And that is exactly why Carney's strategy worked. In the modern world, if you treat an internet troll like a formal diplomatic crisis, you give it the oxygen it needs to become real. By reducing a presidential threat to a simple comment about active social media use, Canada stripped the weapon of its power. Behind the scenes, the real, grueling trade negotiations continue. Publicly, the noise goes on. But as this room in Montreal just proved, sometimes the ultimate display of power isn't shouting back. It's refusing to hear the noise at all. What do you think? Did Carney play this perfectly? Or did Canada show weakness by not pushing back harder? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next Daily Brief.